We're going to do a classwork problem in 15.3, sampling distributions. Before we start, let me make a comment on this concept, the law of large numbers. We're going to skip this concept for now. This is a concept in 15.2, but we're going to skip that for now. So let's go to our classwork problem. (15.7). This is a pretty long question with different subparts, but we'll go through each of them one by one. So let's spend a moment to read the question first. We have a small population here. How small? 10 students. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What are we interested in? What are we measuring? Exam scores. The first student's exam score is 94. The second student's exam score is 63, so on and so forth. The parameter of interest is mu. That means we are interested in the average exam score in this population. Remember that parameter. What is a parameter? A parameter is a characteristic of a population. And in this case, mu is the parameter of this population that we're interested in. Now we're going to take many samples, and not just one, but let me explain this SRS. What is SRS? SRS is a simple random sample. So all this time when I say a sample, actually, strictly speaking, I mean a simple random sample. What is a simple random sample? A simple random sample means that you select your sample randomly from the population. What does that mean, randomly? Well, in the old days, I would put all the names of these 10 students in a hat, and I would select 4 names out of the hat without looking into the hat. In modern days, we'll use Excel. We'll ask Excel to generate 4 numbers randomly. Okay, now let's go to the first part, make a histogram of these 10 scores. So let me bring up this demo. Now, I'm using Word to show you how to do it, but you don't need to. You just write on a piece of paper. Okay, it's faster for you. So you don't need to type. But my handwriting is awful. That's why I'm using Word. So part A, draw a histogram of the population of these 10 scores. That means you draw a histogram, and the x-axis is the x values. I mean, the horizontal axis is the x values. That's what I meant. Now, to draw a histogram, we need to write out the frequency table, or we call it distribution table. So you have 2 columns, and you have to have different classes or groups of x scores. And then for each group, you count how many observations fall within that group. Okay, so let me put the 2 screens together. Be easier to see. Okay, now so you have a bunch of x values. How many bars do you need? Well, first of all, we figure out what's the smallest observation value. The smallest x value is 45. The largest is 94. So I'm going to say the first bar, I'll start from 40 to 50. So when you do your classwork, you basically just follow the classes that I'm going to type, so that you and I will come to the same conclusion, so that the grader knows easily whether you did the right thing or not. Okay, so just copy the my classes. So the first bar 40 to 50, the second bar 50 to 60, and then your 60 to 70. Okay, and so on and so forth. Now you know that actually it's not, the endpoint is not really 50, it should be 49.9, and the endpoint is not really 60, it's 59.9, and this is not really 70, it's 69.9. Then we come back to this population, we count how many of these x values, how many of these exam scores fall within 40 to 49.9. So actually just 45, right? So this is just 1. For the second class, and you go to the population, how many exam scores, how many X values fall within 50 to 59.9? So you have 51 here, 59 here. So this is 2, okay? So what you need to do is complete this table and make sure that you check everything. All the counts should add up to 10 because you have 10 students. After you finish this frequency table, then you can come to this step. So this step is to draw the histogram. So let me quickly remind you, what's a histogram? Now, because we are trying to do a histogram for all the observations, for the population, population, okay? So your horizontal axis to be the X values. So these are the exam scores. And this is the frequency. So you're going to do your bars over here and based on the information in this table. So the first bar, you have the frequency of 1. So this will be your first bar. So you have this 40 to 50, 50 to 60, so on and so forth. And the first bar have a frequency of 1. Okay, so you finish this, and this will be your histogram of X.